Welcome back. Welcome back. We gonna do our celebrity news. This gonna be the last video for the day, and we just gonna get into Wendy Williams. So recently, she has failed her cognitive test, and they're saying that she actually does have dementia. Wow! And they extended her guardianship another 3 months. Damn. I don't know if they rigged this test or what, because she seemed to be fine. I don't know. This the update, and I was like, wow, I gotta talk about this. But like I said, shout out to my new subscribers. Appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, hit the like button. This is really sad, and I hope they didn't rig this, but let's get into it. My son always told me use AI first. Wendy Williams is still under legal guardianship after a recent medical examination confirmed her diagnosis of frontal dementia, ETD, and aphasia. The guardianship, which began in 2022, has been extended through November 2025, and her family and ex husband are seeking more control over her medical needs and want to challenge the current government. Kevin, you need to sit your ass down. You ain't getting shit. You left your 80 for a 20. You ain't getting a dime. You should have stayed with her. Hey, cuz. Um, they want to challenge the current guardian, Sabrina Morosi Williams has expressed a desire. No, Williams has expressed a desire to be released from guardianship, with her attorneys exploring legal action over alleged medical records. A 2025 medical evaluation confirmed she does have front temporal dementia. Aphasia impairs language skills, and FTD affects personality, behavior, and language. So she under guardianship to November 2025. Let me see. Williams' attorney is reportedly exploring legal action after reports of her medical records, including dementia diagnosis, were leaked to the media. She got damn, the same lawyer ASAP Rocky had. Damn, I can't say his name, but this how he looked. He is celebrity attorney. That's who she got. Damn, that's sad news for Wendy. Let me see, is this People magazine. Oh, they said People magazine got her medical records. How? It's a HIPAA law. And she got family who could take care of her. She got family, she got a son. The update comes 5 months after the former talk show host was removed from her assisted living. Oh shit. Removed from her assisted living facility and taken to the hospital by New York police on March 10th. That's the last time I reported on her, too. The following day, Williams called into Good Day, New York, where she claimed that she received mental competency tests following her 2023 dementia diagnosis and claims that she was cognitive. She says she passed with flying colors. Now that is what she said, so now all of a sudden she got dementia. She need to see another doctor. She had these tests. She's been deemed incapacitated. I think it's great news and it's public. Everybody knows factually that Wendy's not incapacitated. She need to see another doctor. She need a second, third opinion. Now, in June, Williams' ex-husband Kevin Conner filed a lawsuit against the facilitators of her years-long guardianship. How y'all divorced and you broke as hell. Everybody know you coming for some money, and your baby mama who you met left you after the money was gone. She left and moved back in with her mama. You left for 80 for 20. In her documents, Hunter claimed that Williams has been the victim of unrestrained abuse, maltreatment, and fiscal malpractice in the 3 years since her guardianship was first imposed. Ain't that a bitch? You left her and married somebody else. You married a rag doll where she was not provided the opportunity to obtain adequate legal representation. Wow. This is really sad. They just want Wendy to fall because she knows a lot about the. Yeah, that's true. I agree. But she failed the medical competency test. Let me see what this article says. Now, her caretaker, Gisela, recently shared that she was not medically incapacitated. However, updated medical exam came to a different conclusion. Yeah, she need a second and third opinion. The new assessment upheld her dementia diagnosis. Complications surrounding the guardianship occurred, according to the judge. Members of Wendy's family are getting involved. Counsel for her family and ex-husband are hoping to have more control over her medical needs. Her ex-husband need to get the fuck on. They don't need to give him nothing. They are now only looking to challenge her guardianship if Wendy has to be under control. They don't believe Sabrina should be her right. And she been spending off all her money. Mm-mm. Okay, let's get into the recap now. Let me see. Now, where is my Oh, here. Where is it? Oh, right here. So now we're getting in the recap part. Wendy Williams calls Rosanna Scotto on live TV. She called Rosanna to from the hospital where she underwent another cognitive test, and they said she was fine. This was back in March. Wendy was deemed not incapacitated in March 2025. Now she is. And she was saying she felt like a prisoner in her home and she hated living in that senior place. Williams was joined on the phone by her friend Gina, who told Rosanna can elaborate on everything. I'll just co-sign. She had those tests. She's been deemed not incapacitated. The court says they were going to do some testing on you. Did you not really trust that testing and you wanted somebody independent? Yeah, she need to get another independent. Well, that's true too. So, Gina, can you take the latest test, bring it before the judge and say, let Wendy out now? Absolutely. These independent results, this is from the hospital, a very well known hospital. It's independent, it's factual. I would be very disappointed and I would be very concerned if the judge has an issue with those tests. Obviously, they did. Yeah, she need her own. Williams told Rosanna she's not allowed to go outside the assisted living facility. She said she is on the fifth floor, which she said is a memory unit where others on the floor don't remember anything. She explained how she has to stay in the building and go to the gym on the third floor. The facility someone from the building has to walk her down. In terms of getting out of guardianship, that is my number one plan. Well, she got a good ass lawyer. Then Williams was taken to the hospital after officials responded to a 911 call at her assisted living facility. Earlier this year, Williams denied she was cognitive impaired and admitted during an interview with the Breakfast Club that she felt like she was in prison. According to TMZ, you know it ain't true if it ain't on TMZ. A guardianship is a legal arrangement between court gives a person or organization the legal right to make decisions on behalf of the other person. All right, let's get out of that. She scored 10 out of 10 on a medical competency test at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York, Williams told the Breakfast Club. Once at the hospital where Williams remained overnight, she reportedly scored a perfect score. Okay, I just said that. Let me get rid of that. So they forward the results of those tests to the judge. So why did they make her take another test? So then she was scheduled to appear on The View. Let me see, did she? Oh, so she had a phone call with The View. Williams would, and she joined the ladies in the past. Wendy Williams spoke out about the way she was living under her guardianship and stated she wanted out. Williams have been going live, doing live phone calls while staying in this facility. I can't stand The View. So now they had started an investigation on her guardian. So TMZ contacted Adult Protective Services, which also has made phone calls to people close to Wendy asking about her living conditions. Wendy says she has no memory problems and therefore keeping her in a memory unit is inhumane. We are told Adult Protective Services called Wendy's niece, Alex Fining. Oh, let me get rid of this. Oh, let me get rid of this. Asking a slew of questions related to the restrictions that she has been placed in. In addition to Adult Protective Services, we are told the NYPD paid a visit to Wendy at the facility for a welfare check. Wendy, through people close to her, have asked people at the NYPD and Protective Services to launch an investigation into her guardianship. Joe Tapaka, that's her law attorney, is considering representing Wendy, and he is representing her. She says she's ready to return to daytime television nearly after 4 years absence. She's 60 years old. So she only went on the phone, yo. I'm not gonna read all this because okay, let me delete all this stuff. Then we're gonna get to the video. Hold on one second. I need to delete all this. can't stand the view. That's the most biased show ever. I can't stand none of them witches. Oh, where's my notes? Here we go. Where's my Wendy? Lord, what file did I put Wendy under? Jesus Christ. Oh, she must be under black people. Oh, she ain't under that. Where the hell did I put my Wendy? Oh, Lord, where did I put Wendy at? I done lost Wendy. Now, how is that possible? I done lost Wendy. You can't make this shit up. Oh, they over here. Okay, hold on. I thought I had named it. Now this all my. I know my son laughing at me because I'm trying to find these damn. This is not funny. And I know I moved them. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Let me go on this phone. Hold on. I'm pissed off. Maybe it's in this one. I'm gonna have to end this here, or I'm just gonna have to. I know I had named it. Damn, I hope I did not delete all that shit. Oh shit. I am pissed. Mm, mm, mm. do that. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm about to do. This is awful. All right, this what I'm gonna do. Fuck it. This what I'm gonna do.
In New York today, new video of Wendy Williams with the NYPD at her side.
Wendy, how are you feeling today? I know you said that you needed help.
The former talk show host ignored the paparazzi as she walked out of her assisted living facility in Manhattan to an awaiting ambulance. The drama went down when police were called for a wellness check after Wendy, who has been diagnosed with dementia, tossed a handwritten note begging for help. But a source tells ET an advocacy group connected to Wendy ordered the trip. And when Wendy was asked by cops if she wanted to go to the hospital, she said yes. According to TMZ, Wendy underwent mental health testing to determine if she can end her guardianship. She's scheduled to appear on The View on Friday.
Wendy, are you looking forward to The View?
I can't believe my dumb ass did that. And this when she had her little breakdown.
Well, you see where I am, right? Where I am is this place where the people are older. You know what I'm saying? They are in their 90s and their 80s. They call this the memory unit. I'm part of the memory unit. A memory unit, in other words, what? Somebody who doesn't remember crap? Are you serious? This is my life. You know what I'm saying? The memory unit is suffocating. I mean, like, I eat lunch and dinner in my bedroom. I don't eat out there with the people that live here just because it's so goddamn depressing.
The 60-year-old who has been placed in the facility by her court-appointed guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, also says her communication with friends and loved ones has been restricted.
I can call you, but you can't call me.
What about communications? Do you have an iPad or some form of a computer?
I have not. Listen, I asked the guardian person for an iPad since years, it seems like, but an iPad.
Hold on, I'm gonna let that play.
My telephone back. Can I please be able to call, my family? What is the problem with me calling and talking to friends of mine? They're not allowed to come in here, friends of mine. You know what I'm saying?
The Williams guardian previously claimed that she had been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and primary progressive aphasia, and court documents stated that she is legally incapacitated, but in the documentary, Williams denies those claims. Her niece, as well as Levin, who both have spoken with Williams at length, also say Williams does not appear to be incapacitated, and as Access Hollywood previously reported, Williams' guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, requested a new medical evaluation for the TV personality earlier this month.
In terms of how I feel, health-wise, I feel fantastic. Listen, I'm not incapacitated.
There was a period where there were questions about people that were in her life, things that were going on with her financially, things that were going on medically. I absolutely understand why the court felt she needed a guardian at the time. I think that that's what people saw in the documentary, is that the Wendy Williams that we all know.
I found it. I don't know where it went. I got it. Thank you, God. Okay, cool.
Okay, so Wendy Williams, update, has hired a new lawyer, Joe Tacopino. This guy is a heavy hitter. He has represented a lot of big
This
names.
is the surprise.
Oh, my heater came on. The names are escaping me right now. He's one of these big wig heavy hitters, kind of like, to the likes of Mark Agnifilo. Yes. Okay, so my memory on this one is correct. Here's the Google search I did. Wendy Williams get permission from judge to hire lawyer. Yes, Wendy has received permission from a judge to hire a new lawyer to assist her in her legal battle to end her guardianship. Okay, so the AI overview I don't think is right. Sometimes you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's partially right. She has received permission to hire new lawyers, but it wasn't for the purpose of representing her in the guardianship case. It is for the purpose of representing Wendy in getting out of the facility. I need y'all to please listen and pay attention because they're telling us, and I don't hear anybody listening. Joe Tacopino was not hired to get Wendy Williams out of the guardianship.
Wow, I thought he was. I thought he was.
Stating that it is not his job. He has stated over and over in these different little tabloid reports that his job and his main concern is to get her out of the draconian institution. Okay? He is not primarily concerned, or it seems at all concerned, with getting her out of the conservatorship/guardianship because they are the same thing. And I'm not saying that like as a guess. He's saying it. I'm going to show you in the article. Even the AI overview, y'all look, I don't take my word for it. I'm going to show you, look, here's what the AI overview says, right? That's what the AI overview says. It says, hire new lawyers to assist her in the legal battle to end her guardianship. That is not the case. That's not what's going on. This is not also page 6. This is also not what's going on. To help her stalled case. Well, that one's a little bit more true. That one's a little bit more true because the case is stalled. The case is stalled, but probably also what was stalled was her trying to get out of the facility. So maybe he's just helping on that part. Let me show you what this article says. Okay, this is the one from
Wow, and I thought he was getting her out of, not just out the facility, but out of the guardianship.
Career is over. I don't know if y'all had occasion to see, but the judge was going in on Wendy.
Wow, I had no idea. Now, this is the judge criticized her guardianship, and he warned Williams that her career may end because of this. And this is how she still look pretty good, but you can tell something is going on with her physically. It may not be mental. Then they had an emergency hearing. Let me close that.
Oh my God, you guys come and sit down and shut the
Now
door.
this Tisha tell sometimes her shit be off.
Of what is going on in the Wendy Williams drama? If you guys don't know, last night Wendy Williams was like, "Yo, I'm a prisoner." The Guardian was like, "What are you talking about, Wendy? You're not a prisoner." She said, "Oh, really?" So Wendy's niece, Alexa Fine, came in and said, "No, if she's not a prisoner, I'm taking my aunt out to dinner to celebrate at her favorite Italian restaurant." They said, okay. They even let them on the elevator and let them go. Spoiler alert, the 5th floor that Wendy's on, you need someone, an attendant, to actually give you access to the elevator. There's no way you can sneak out of that. Leading credits to the fact that Wendy Williams is saying that she is living in a prison. Okay, well, get this, right? So they said, go ahead, have fun. While they were out, the Guardian literally called the police and said that Wendy had been kidnapped by her niece.
Sure did.
Dirty. The judge even came in Lisa Sokol, for whatever her name is, came in and said, guess what? Wendy keeps talking this. We're moving her into a place even more restrictive. Wendy said, nothing can be more restrictive than this. Are you out of your mind? Anyway, Wendy's lawyer stepped in and said, yeah, no, for real. Are y'all out of your mind? Wendy Williams' lawyer has fought back with an emergency filing amid the hospital admission. Y'all, let's get into this, okay? Wendy Williams' conservatorship and illness has caused concern among her peers and fans. Now, keep in mind, her illness is, nobody really knows, because now we are finding out that everything that Guardian told us and a conservatorship told us, down to her level of mental fragility, looks like it has been a lie. According to...
And it has been a lie. And she probably done spent up all Wendy's money. She probably been having a good old time with the money.
Morning, everybody. It's the
Now this her Breakfast Club.
Larry, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club.
I mean, I'm exhausted. You know what I'm saying? I am exhausted, and I wanted to go to the hospital to talk to the doctor. You know, Gina, you can expound on that a bit, please.
So we were actually trying to figure out how to kind of break through and get some kind of motion into this case, because we were pretty stuck at one point waiting for the lawyers to get through and get some type of trial. So I did two things. I wrote a letter to the Adult Protective Services, explaining to them Wendy's situation. She was isolated and we needed an investigation. Yesterday morning, during our morning calls, I told Wendy we will be calling the police. And we will be speaking to police and we will be telling them that you are isolated.
Listen,
and we need some help.
So two police showed up, you know, where I was, you know, at the coterie. And so I was telling them, you know, the same. And the next thing you know, there are two more police. So there are four in total. And I was talking with Gina, you know, and saying, go ahead, Gina.
Yeah, and the police came into the room. Wendy gave me the phone, and I pleaded with the police as if Wendy was my child. Please, you need to get her off this floor.
And listen,
she is confined.
I told them I am not incapacitated.
She don't sound like she got dementia.
And this floor that I live on is the memory unit. The people who live there don't remember anything. Unlike me, like, why am I here? What is going on? It's a cry for help. You know what I'm saying? Charlamagne, you know, I talk to you often and a lot. Mm-hmm. And Gina, go ahead and talk, please.
Now, Gina, let me ask you one question. There was something yesterday.
And that's another thing. She started Charlamagne the God. She started his whole career because apparently, he was her intern. Charlamagne the God got his whole start through Wendy.
A note out the window, and that's how the police were called. Is that true? Is there any truth to that? No.
That's so funny. Wendy's talking to me on the phone, and she's like, Gina, there's a photographer downstairs. What do I do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's like, should I write them something? And I'm
listen,
like, yes. Right.
Let me tell you, this happened early in the morning. And it just so happens, you know, because I have a window, a bathroom, and a bedroom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the window, and I see somebody say hi. So I'm like, hi back. And I get on the phone, and I'm talking with Gina, you know, and my niece. And I asked them this, that, and the third. Go ahead, Gina.
Yes, the note had nothing to do with it. Wendy and I actually called the police directly.
Okay.
And convinced the police to come over to do a welfare check.
Mm-hmm.
And yes. No, go ahead, finish. And just insisted and pleaded with the officer on the phone that you have to get Wendy out of here. We have a guardian who is telling the whole building and the world that she's incapacitated.
Yeah.
And she needs to be on a locked unit.
Yeah.
And I said, please, you cannot walk out of that building without Wendy. And she told me, I promise I will not.
Yo,
I will bring her home.
I was shocked to see Wendy walking yesterday.
She
That's
does
what I was
not
telling her.
sound like
Yeah,
she
but
has
we seen her
dementia.
lymphedema feet. I was like, I could not believe. Look, Wendy,
She was saying that
Gotcha.
she was there with. Anyway, the point is that then where I am, you know, at that coterie, right now there is another person right there. Like if I open the door, there's a person from the coterie.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's very sad. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking to Wendy Williams, and Gina is also on the line.
Gina
as well.
Lisa, she's the president of Connect Care Advisory Group.
Now, tell us what happened when you got to the hospital, because there were claims that they did a test and she got 10 out of 10 on the test. So what happened when she actually got to the hospital?
Well, when I got to the hospital, you know, immediately, you know, and they're saying, you know, I get checked in, right? And then, you know, they checked me for the heart palpitations and they did all kinds of scans and Gina, can you expound upon?
Yes. So she arrived at the hospital, and the attorney convinced the doctors. So according to what was told, the guardian was there and Wendy's attorney. And I think there was a little back and forth as whether she was going to allow Wendy, the guardian, to get evaluated.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor saw there was a difference between the guardian's opinion and her lawyer's opinion, and the doctor had to go to his legal department from the hospital to clear to see how he was going to do it. He received the clearance for the evaluation, and then Wendy took 2 evaluations, and pretty much they're evaluating whether she has competency and is able to make decisions, and she passed both tests.
What does the 10-10 mean?
I'm sorry?
What 10-10? What does it mean? Gina?
10
Tell me
out
what
of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, correct. 10 questions asked, 10 questions correct, answered correctly.
I mean, they asked me simple things like, you know, who's the president? You know what I'm saying? What's my birth date? Anyway, yeah, I'm bored.
Who would you tell them the president was, Wendy?
Oh, please. A friend of mine. A friend of mine. Who was on the show and also beyond.
I have a question for you guys too. So there are reports that this exam. That
Yeah, she need to get another independent test, because she does not sound like she has dementia. Okay, let's go back into this article. Now that I found my videos, I done stored them under something else. So after she was moved, she was spotted out again. And she was with her niece, and they were having dinner. And that's pretty much, because I'm not going to read this. Oh, she arrived at the Pendry Hotel in Hudson's Yard on a scooter. She had on her fur coat and boots. Oh, this is that thing. This is the scooter. She looked good. And she still sound like and talk like Wendy. Yeah, and I think the judge in on it too with the fraud was Sabrina Morrissey. Because the judge keep making her stay up under her. Now, then, y'all remember Mighty Ducks? He's the Bitcoin billionaire, Brock Pierce. He offered Wendy Williams a mansion stay with medical care where she can find peace. Bitcoin billionaire and former child star offers to put Wendy in a mansion with around-the-clock hospital care that he paying for. Brock Pierce, who starred in the films The Mighty Ducks before hitting it big in cryptocurrency, says he's ready to come to Wendy's rescue. I've always admired Wendy's strength and courage. When I saw her ask for help, it was impossible to ignore, he told Page Six in a statement. My offer is simple: a place where she can find peace, receive the care she deserves, and begin her journey to heal. Oh, that's him. He a billionaire crypto. Y'all remember him in the Mighty Morphin? Oh my God. Damn, he a billionaire. Oh, this is a better picture, I guess. Wow. This when he starred in the Mighty Morphin. Yeah, man, he a billionaire. Pierce, who previously appeared on Williams' radio show, Wendy is a national treasure, and it's time we show her the kindness and support she has always given to so many. The move comes after Williams tossed a handwritten note asking for help, and we all know that story. I'm not going to repeat that. She don't sound like she got dementia. That was when she was asking for help from that window. Brock's goal is to help Wendy regain her freedom and health, while his private mansion would provide Wendy with a secure environment where she can focus on recovery without the pressures of the public eye. And that's nice of him. This offers an open invitation to Wendy to take the time she needs to heal. Well, why didn't they do that? Oh, well, I guess they go on to court. Wow, that is so nice. Dang, he owned a hotel in Puerto Rico, the W Hotel. And Puerto Rico's so nice. I mean, it is beautiful. All right, let me do it that here. You need to go to bed. All that whining don't make no sense. Right. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Uh-huh. Sure do. I'm gonna put all of them out. This king got on. Wow, king. Trying to find this other article. Hold on. What is all? Oh, this all Trump. We ain't talking about Trump. We talking about Wendy. Wendy, we gotta help Wendy. Well, oh, that's Kendrick and Drake. Okay, here we go. Okay, Wendy Williams enjoys a lunch date with former Wendy Williams show producers. After she started raising hell, they started letting her up out of there. She had lunch with producer Suzanne Bass and her husband Brendan Higgins, and they shared photos with the public. Her light still shines so bright, love. Wow. Wendy Williams, who had been absent since the show of 2021 due to serious health crises, led to a finale of her show. Williams later spoke publicly about the finale and didn't hide her disappointment watching it from home. She described the experience as leaving her feeling sick. We about to get back into more of her videos. All right, let's go here with my limit. Couldn't believe I couldn't find it. I knew.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today?
This is Tisha
If you
Tiff.
are Wendy Williams, things are getting crazy. The judge is out here in public threatening you, and your niece took you out for a dinner after they told Wendy, "Oh my God, you're free to go wherever you want.
Right.
Calm down." And all of a sudden, they got the police called on them, y'all. Let's get into this because honestly, this is too much. All right, it's getting crazy. Wendy Williams' assisted living facility filed a police report claiming her niece broke the law. They're trying to get her niece locked up for taking her to an Italian restaurant. Listen, TMZ is reporting so much for Wendy Williams being able to come and go as she pleases to spend time with her family. Because her care facility, i.e. her prison, where she's being housed, has filed a police report claiming that her niece broke the law and needs to be locked up. I'll tell you one thing. We're going to get into the report, but I will say this. I do believe this was a really smart and intentional play to prove that the Guardian and the Guardian's lawyers are liars. If you guys don't know,
including the judge in on it too.
Everybody else is running one of the biggest scams
Yup.
ever seen.
Yup.
Okay. Wendy Williams says she is being confined to the. Wendy can come and go as she pleases. Oh my God. Wendy was like, "What are you talking about? You are holding me hostage." What? You can do what you want. Wendy, we're good friends. He said, "Get away from me." They're like, "Wendy, we're good friends." Wendy said, "All right, well, I'm going to dinner with my niece." She left to go to dinner at an Italian restaurant. This is after what do you call it? Scoring 10 out of 10 out of 2 mental assessments. And they called the police. Let's get into this. I do believe, again, that the judge, the guardianship, and the law firm are all in on this. And I do believe
I think the same thing. Absolutely. They spending her money.
To be the end of that facility. TMZ is reporting so much for Wendy Williams being able to come and go as she pleases and spend time with her family because the facility where she's being housed has filed a police report claiming that her niece broke the law by taking her to dinner. What is the law on the guardianship? We'll talk about that in a second. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Wendy's niece, Alex Fine, or Finney, accompanied Wendy on Wednesday from the hospital where Wendy Williams has been staying for a psychological evaluation back to the coterie where Wendy has been living for the past 8 months. After spending time with Wendy at the coterie, Alex took her famous aunt to an Italian restaurant for dinner. Where do you think they went to? Bill Boys? Famous Italian? Where do you think they went to? Anyway, according to sources connected to Wendy and her guard, Wendy go have drinks. Then they said Wendy's not allowed to drink. Anyway.
Right. Well, I can see that she can't drink.
They said it's a shocking turn of events given a letter TMZ received last night from the lawyer representing Wendy's guardian. I cannot say enough that Wendy is paying that guardian's lawyer. The letter said Wendy was free to come and go from the facility as she pleases, and no restrictions were placed on family visits.
They just lying. They spending her money left and right. It's a damn shame. But she gonna get justice. She got a good lawyer. She got the same lawyer ASAP Rocky had, Joe Tucker Peel, however you say it. Now, I just found, here's the alleged letter used to lock Wendy up in her guardianship. I got to pull it up. Oh, wait a minute. Shit, this ain't Sean Diddy Combs letter. Wait a minute. She been under that guardianship of Sabrina Morrissey since May 2022. That is some bullshit. Now, sources close to Wendy shared a letter that allegedly played a key role in locking her. On January 20th, 2022, Wendy's psychiatrist, Rami, wrote a letter to her financial advisor, Lori Schiller, which has then submitted to her bank, Wells Fargo. That same month, the bank froze her funds and began pushing for temporary financial guardianship. Since when the bank do that? Oh, Wells Fargo, Illuminati Bank. By May, the bank started this. By May 2022, the court sided with the bank and approved the arrangement, escalating to full guardianship. This is all a scam. Wow. Meanwhile, the letter from January is exactly 2 sentences long, and neither of them addresses the host by her full name. Miss Williams has been my patient for over a year now. Over the last 6 months, she has been unable to make reasoned decisions, and her insight and judgment are severely depicted. Oh, they in on this together. Then by the time she get out, she might not have a dime left. Then they can go to jail. A source close to the situation tells the Shade Room that this letter was instrumental in getting her guardianship approved. 2 sentences. The doctor shouldn't be enough to take away someone's rights. This document should never have been shared with a financial advisor or bank. Oh, they going through her money left and right. Sabrina Morrissey was pre-selected and not part of the list of court-appointed guardians. TSR was also told that Wendy's attempts to fire her then financial advisor Lori and then manager Bernie Young led to manipulation with the threat of guardianship. Ultimately, the source thinks Lori and Bernie schemed the guardianship plan together and noted Young's arrest for fraudulent use of Wendy's coins. Wow. Wendy blasted Birmingham for allegedly using her credit cards to pay attorney fees. She hired him 2019 after dropping her ex-husband Kevin Hunter from the manager role. I know for a fact that Birmingham used my American Express card to hire an attorney to file a petition against me. That was done with my American Express card. Bernie Young, you're no good. Wow. Put $10,000 on her on that card. The first charge was $10,000 and went to a New York law firm specialized in healthcare law. The second payment went to the psychiatrist who wrote the letter. Oh, y'all need to be locked the fuck up. She simply wanted her finances protected from misuse by her ex-husband and son or any other parties. Now, she has no access to a cell phone or the internet. She also can't decide where to live or how to use her funds. Williams can't vote, marry, select her doctor, receive any visitor she wants, or travel out of state. All of that and more requires the approval of the guard. You know what? At some point, you just gotta whoop a bitch ass. But that might not help in her case. Because then they're going to say she crazy. Yeah, she can't do that either. Maurice added, you have no rights. Somebody in prison has more rights than a person put you under guardianship. Damn. Mm. It's a shame. This is sad.
Yet here we are. At the time of this post, Wendy and Alex are finishing their meal and will return to Coterie. They also have an update. They said Wendy and her niece Alex just got back from dinner and talked with photographers before going inside the coterie, with Wendy saying the police report drama was unbelievable. Wendy and Alex say it's weird the coterie took issue with them going out to dinner when her guardian claims there are no restrictions on her movements and family visitors. Wendy Williams says the guardian is lying, and she says tonight's events are proof she's being treated poorly. Listen, let me tell you something. Of course, Wendy is being treated poorly. Of course she is. But you know what? Think about this. Why is Wendy's movement so restricted? Why don't they want other medical people involved? What are
because they lying.
Now, just to give you an update, the Guardian's lawyer says the media is wrong and Wendy does have freedom and great care and a confident guardian. Really? The people being...
And then they call the police on her. Then they call the police. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. Oh, shit. Well, let's get out of this. I'm going to go just a couple more minutes. Then I'm going to bed. Wendy door, they demanded an emergency.
You guys come and sit down and shut the door. Things have just exploded to new levels of what is going on in the Wendy Williams drama. If you guys don't know, last night, Wendy Williams was like, yo, I'm a prisoner. The Guardian was like, what are you talking about, Wendy? You're not a prisoner. She said, oh, really? So Wendy's niece, Alexa Fine, came in and said, no, if she's not a prisoner, I'm taking my aunt out to dinner to celebrate at her favorite Italian restaurant. They said, okay. They even let them on the elevator and let them go. Spoiler alert, the 5th floor that Wendy's on, you need someone, an attendant, to actually give you access to the elevator. There's no way you can sneak out of that. Leading credits to the fact that Wendy Williams is saying that she is living in a prison. Okay, well, get this, right? So they said, go ahead, have fun. While they were out, the Guardian literally called the police and said that Wendy had been kidnapped by her niece. I know, it's playing dirty. The judge even came in. Lisa Sokol, for whatever her name is, came in and said, guess what? Wendy keeps talking to us. We're moving her into a place even more restrictive. Wendy said, nothing can be more restrictive than this. Are you out of your mind? Anyway, Wendy's lawyer stepped in and said, yeah, no, for real. Are y'all out of your mind? Wendy Williams' lawyer has fought back with an emergency filing amid the hospital admission. Y'all, let's get into this, okay? Wendy Williams' conservatorship and illness has caused concern among her peers and fans. Now, keep in mind, her illness is, nobody really knows, because now we are finding out that everything that Guardian told us and the conservatorship told us, down to her level of mental fragility, looks like it has been a lie. According to
it has
psychiatric
been
evaluations, Wendy Williams is experiencing no cognitive decline. But let's keep going. The concerns rose that reports stated that Wendy Williams has been rushed to the hospital, followed by a wellness check by the NYPD. However, Wendy's lawyers are now fighting back as reports from the U.S. Sun shared that they have filed an emergency petition to have her removed from her senior living facility. Now, listen, on March 11th, the lawyer filed a petition at Wendy passed her mental evaluation, flying colors. The facility as a Wendy had also called the facility a luxury prison. Luxury, and yet Wendy was paying somewhere between 16 and 18,000 a month to not have any privileges.
Right.
And now
That part.
Even
That
after
part.
that, Sabrina, Guardian, has also been doing her best to go through Wendy's funds in order for Wendy to finance all the lawsuits against the guardianship and Sabrina, the lawyer, and Sabrina, the guardian. Let it also be known that Wendy says she can't stand her guardian, to which the judge is like, we don't care. Despite Wendy's attitude, she actually used that coded language. Apparently, Wendy got an attitude. You mean the person paying for Sabrina Moore's whole life? You mean the person paying for everything? She has an attitude?
Exactly. Ain't that a bitch?
About the way your money's spent on people you can't stand. Because I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Sabrina's not the only guardian. Why do we have to go through Sabrina's doctor?
Because they all in it together. They all going through her money.
Why can't a new guardian be named even if Wendy is in severe cognitive decline? If she don't like the girl, she don't like the girl. Get somebody else on the case. Why? Well, I think it's because this is nothing but all a big elaborate con. But let's move on. Anyway, right? Wendy said, this is nothing but a luxury prison. I have no rights. I can't do what I want. And honestly, the way they reacted to her niece taking her out to dinner, even though they asked for permission and got it, it shows that they don't want Wendy going too far because they're probably afraid of what they're going to be exposed to. Now, a source close to Wendy Williams stated her guardianship attorney is filing an emergency petition to have her moved to less restricted alternative housing. Now, mind you, this was done in And mind you, when you file an emergency petition, you know to say when they called the police on Alex that this emergency petition had already been filed. Baby, they are playing checkers, and Wendy is playing chess. Let's keep going.
Yeah, that's a fact.
The hospital attempted to discharge her Monday. If you guys don't know, the care facility she's living in is not a hospital. It can't give care. Wendy was taken to Lenox Hill Hospital, where they had an independent psychiatrist evaluate. Even though when she tried to go, the police showed up and said, yo, she wants to go to the hospital. And they were like, no. We have hospitals. Why don't you stay here? Wendy was like, hell no, I got to go. They tried everything they could do. She was taken to the hospital. She was evaluated. The scary, spooky thing is, they said that Sabrina Peterson was, even though she kept saying, me and Wendy are great friends, we get along great. Wendy the whole time has said, I hate this woman. Do you know Sabrina Peterson never went and spoke to Wendy Williams face to face, but she was actually in the hospital. Ooh, how does that make sense? Because they said, being a little Jeeper creeper, Sabrina Peterson was listening for the whole time outside of Wendy's room, but never dared go in to see Wendy. Gina, that is the advocate that is helping Wendy, and Wendy is not old. She's only 60 years old. Baby, it is not 1901. 60 years old literally is like midlife at this point. Wendy still got a whole lot of life to live and a whole bunch of booty shorts.
She sure do. She sure do. So they filed that emergency, but yeah. Okay, yeah, I already talked about the View. All right, let's do this. Yep, I'm about to wrap this up in a minute. Oh, let me see. Wendy Williams, all smiles, caught partying, fans go wow. She was seen getting a few breaks with a few public outings. Recently, Williams could be seen enjoying herself at New York City eatery, complete with dancing and sparklers. Let me see, who was she with? Yeah, they letting her out now. They want to keep control of that money. Williams was seen dancing at the restaurant. In fact, the Midtown East Power Eatery was one of the few restaurants the star has been to in the recent months. Williams was described as being in great spirits while at Fresco by Scotto. The publication also noted that Williams has recently been seen at a few other Manhattan hotspots, including Michael's and Cantori. According to a spy, Williams could be seen having walked in a restaurant with friends around 8 p.m. wearing a bright red coat. Williams reportedly made the impression as everyone head turned to check her out. Said she looked great. The other patrons also showed their support for the star during her time there. Williams has said to be at the restaurant with her niece, noting uh, Alex Finney had been seen going and out to eatery with her aunt during a few of her other outings. They could be seen sitting at the banquet with Scotto and former Good Day New York. So she been getting out. Yeah, they don't want all this bad publicity. That's what this is. Now, Wendy Williams' career and family ripped by judge during guardianship trial. The judge came recused because they all taking her money. Wendy Williams has reportedly been slammed by the judge in her conservatorship case, who allegedly trashed her family and told the Trouble TV star her career is over. The apparently unprovoked attack has left Williams shattered. Judge Lisa Scollo shared her frustrations over Williams' repeated outcries about her guardianship. If she don't like the woman, should be appointed another one. But you can't do that because you in on the scam too or taking her money. The judge also lashed out at Williams' niece, accusing her of leaking information to the media and trying to poison the jury pool. Skoloff repeatedly blamed the former talk show host family for being negative influences on her, but she wasn't done, unexpectedly talking about Williams' career, which she is desperate to salvage. Skoloff congratulated Williams on a great career before crushingly adding, "It is now done, and she'll never work in the business again." Williams had been, wow, that is out cold. The latest remarks were said to hurt Williams immensely and left her wondering what the judge was trying to accomplish. It wasn't all bad news for Williams at the hearing. Judge Scola did grant her request to move from the secure memory unit to an independent living section. This change comes with some major freedoms, including receiving visitors and leaving the facility. The court also called for more cognitive and neurological evaluations to assess Williams' ability to manage her own affairs. That could be crucial as she continues to argue for her freedom. Williams had trashed her suffocating living conditions in the past. This is it's like a fairy, it's like unbelievable. She said, I don't have the freedom to do virtually anything. And she paying $18,000 a month. She's claimed she's only been allowed outside twice in 30 days and alleges the facility has given her medication without proper explanation. The elevators are locked, visitors are restricted. I'm ready to get out of here. So then Don Lemon, he spilled some tea. I guess him and Wendy went out and they had some food. And this is what TMZ said. So it ain't true if it ain't on TMZ. He said she was in great spirits and really enjoying her food. Let me see. We grilled Don. I can't stand Don Lemon either. And even though he's been on the receiving end of Wendy Smackdown, he shut that idea saying people don't really know how karma works. To dry the point, he drops a major oh shit. I ain't gonna read that. Joel Tapaka rips Wendy Williams judge for telling her career's over. I'm glad because that bitch, you got a lot of nerve. Joe Tapoka is blasting the judge in Wendy Williams' conservatorship case for telling the TV star her career is over, calling the statement outrageous and adding Wendy's going to have a massive comeback when the conservatorship battle is over. We spoke to Tapoka, who is serving as Wendy's personal attorney. He says these statements by the judge shouldn't have been made in court or in front of Wendy, especially since the judge who said it isn't in the entertainment industry. Tapoka doesn't know why the judge would make such statements about Wendy's career in an unrelated court hearing, and he asked that for this numerous conversations with Wendy, he knows she as coherent and lucid as she has ever been. This the judge, y'all. And you taking her money too. You getting paid off too. She told Williams she had no chance of restarting her career, all while blasting Wendy's family, saying that they were all no good. Oh, so he put a gag. The judge put a gag order on the case. That's a damn shame. And she ain't one of my favorite persons, but this a damn shame of how they doing her. All right, I'm about to get off of here. Let me do one more video. Oh, I'm gonna delete that. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna do this one.
Gina Lisa, picking up where we left off, you're a healthcare advocate. You've been helping Wendy for the past few months. Can you tell us how this guardianship came about in the first place, and what does it entail?
So the guardianship was triggered by Wells Fargo. There was some unusual activity
because they want the money.
Wells Fargo froze the account and initiated a guardianship.
Okay, and that's where the guardianship.
And how does a bank do that? How does a bank do that?
And keeping my money safe. You understand what I'm saying? But at this point in my life, I want to terminate guardianship and move on with my life, if that's possible at all.
So because it was a voluntary guardianship in the beginning, it was fine because Wendy wanted to get some discussion with her finances and get things together. What ended up happening was Wendy didn't realize that this person was going to take her whole entire life. She just thought someone was just going to come and protect her.
Exactly. And what happened was really nice to me. Everybody played really nice to me. And I was like, okay, no problem. Where am I going next? I'm going to Connecticut. Next thing you know, New York, I'm in Connecticut. And the entire building is memory unit. And it was the worst of all. It was worse than where I am in New York. It was horrible. Nothing but grass and trees and memory unit. And why am I there? But you know what? There's something called isolation to me. You know what I'm saying? So they took my phone, so I can't call them. I have to call them. They can't call me. And as far as family, that was all I was calling. There are no friends that I could call because the guardian kept my phone. And I'm in this memory unit in Connecticut. And then I moved to New York after a year being in Connecticut. And it's the same thing. And here's my life.
Well,
you know?
Wendy, if the guardianship were to end or there were changes made, where would you want to go and who would you want to live with?
First of all, I'm staying in New York. And what do you mean? Well, first of all, I don't want a guardian. You know what I'm saying? I don't put it this way. I don't want Sabrina, period. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want Guardian. You know what I'm saying? I want to get out of Guardian. It's been over 3 years. And you know what I'm saying? It's time for my money and my life to get back to status quo.
Okay.
Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, be a part two. I got more info. All right, y'all. And a shout out to my new subscribers. Like,